Hi there, it's your English prof again, a new video for you. This time it's about the grammar item with relative pronouns. This part is about the relative pronoun who and which and the difference between these two pronouns. I've seen so much things and information on the who and which pronouns. I noticed that there is so much focus on the form and structure rather than its use in a context. So in this video, I will try to make some kind of a balance between learning how to use them in context before giving you some grammar information about who and which. Who and which follow a noun either at the start of the sentence or at the end of the sentence. So we will see some examples of each case. We have here two cases at the start or at the end of the sentence. Who and which are used after a noun to clarify, to identify, to explain or give us information or more information about the noun. Let's start with the first case with the example on the board. So we have there, I met the man. If you say this to your friend and both of you know who is the man, it would be accepted. But usually in other contexts, this might be a little ambiguous. It's not clear. You see, I met the man. Which one? Is it John? Is it Carlos? Is it Ahmed? So when you say I met the man, you didn't say anything normally. You say I met the man. Who is this man? Which man is meant? Is it your friend? Is it your neighbor? Is it your teacher? It's not clear from the context. You need to give us more information about the man. You need to modify it. You need to specify or to categorize. For example, I could say, I met the man who lives next door. Or I could say, the man who had the accident. I met the man who is a doctor. I met the man who lost his wallet. Here, who is a relative pronoun, and the clause who, for example, lives next door, or who had accident, or who is a doctor, these are called relative clauses. Relative clauses. So I want you to focus more on the meaning, on the situation. So when you say, I met someone, I met a man, I met some people, so you have to give information. We use who. Who lives next door, who had an accident, who speaks English fluently. You could give as many examples as possible using who. And the purpose, of course, is to give information, to categorize or specify the person, which person is meant. I have another case. This is the second case. And you have here, for example, the man is a doctor. So the man here is at the start of the statement. Say the man is a doctor. You want to communicate that this person, this man is a doctor. The same thing, the same problem. Say which man? It's not clear. So you have to tell us which man is meant. We don't know. So when you say the man, here, after the noun, the man who lives next door is a doctor. So this is the second case where you have a noun. We start with a noun. Say the man who lives next door, the man who had the accident, the man who lost his wallet is a doctor. We could use another example. Carla missed the exam. If you have one Carla, for example, in the classroom, this one is clear. But what if you have more than one Carla? You have two Carlas or three. You need to specify. You have to give us more information. Who is this Carla? So I could say, for example, Carla, who had the accident yesterday, missed the exam. It's not any Carla. Here we are talking about specific one, specific person. Here we say it's a Carla who had the accident yesterday, missed the exam. So who is relative pronoun and who had accident. This is a relative clause that give us information about the noun Carla. This is for who, which is working the same way like who. It comes after a noun at the start of the sentence or at the end of the sentence, but with one difference. So let's focus on which and how we use it. Then we'll see what's the difference between who and which. So let's see some examples like who, and then we could compare who and which together. I could say, for example, the book is interesting. The message here is what? The book is interesting. Say, the book, which book? So you have to give us more information about the book. The book which you lent me last time is interesting. The book which you gave me last time is very interesting. Another example is, I could say, I don't like the books. Which books? I don't like the books which have unhappy stories. No, it's clear. It's not I don't like the books, but I don't like the books which have unhappy stories. Another example is with which John works for the company. Which company? You have to specify, you have to give us information so that we, as listener, we could know which company. So John works for the company which makes computers. Who and which are used in the same way, like who, like which, but there is one difference. Let's take one example of each. So, for example, say, the man who lives next door is a doctor. What about which? Let's say, for example, the book which you lent me last time is very interesting. Why is it necessary to use who, not which, or the opposite? So what is it? What's your conclusion? So who goes for humans and which goes for non-humans. When you say humans, what does it mean? It means people. John, the teacher, Theo, your friend, these are humans. But when we say non-humans, we mean objects, animals, things. So you see books, classroom, house, computer, mobile phone. These are things or objects, and we use which. So who goes for humans and which goes for non-humans? One very important piece of information that is used for humans and non-humans. We use who and we use which, and that could replace, sometimes could replace who and which. For example, there we have, I met the man who is a doctor, or I met the man that is a doctor. Which, the same thing. We could say, for example, the book which you lent me last time is very interesting, or the book that you lent me last time is very interesting. So who and which could be replaced by that. Who for humans, which for non-humans, and that goes for humans and non-humans. I think that's all for who and which. Let's now go to when and where and whom and whose in part 2. Please stay with us.